Gaza is burning. Israeli airstrikes hit Hamas strongholds for the third day since December 27th. The death toll has already climbed to more than 300. And strikes have wreaked significant destruction. Israel says its goal is to stop Hamas from firing more rockets on it once and for all. It is not after occupying the land or hurting civilians. But the Palestinian president is furious.
We condemn with the strongest terms this sweeping Israeli aggression against our people in Gaza, and we call on the international community and the Arab world to stop this aggression.
On the third day of the crisis, the White House spokesperson Gordon Jondreau told reporters, quote, "The United States understands that Israel needs to take actions to defend itself. In order for the violence to stop, Hamas must stop firing rockets into Israel and agree to respect a sustainable and durable ceasefire." That agreement was reached on June 17th of 2008, after months of mediation by the Egyptians. On December 23rd, however, Hamas, which originally called for the destruction of Israel, declared the 6-month ceasefire was over. It blamed Israel's 18-month blockade of Gaza for the deteriorating humanitarian conditions for the 1.5 million Gazans. The next day, Hamas fired at Israel more than 70 rockets from Gaza. From then on, the fired rockets have spiked sometimes to 200 rockets or so a day. That led Germany to echo the same U.S. sentiment. Its government spokesman Thomas Stiggs said, quote, "Hamas has unilaterally broken the ceasefire agreement, blaming the outbreak of violence on Hamas." Meanwhile, the French are trying to negotiate a humanitarian truce to stop Israel's attacks while bringing in medical aid. President Nicolas Sarkozy spoke with Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak to discuss, quote, possible ways to resolving the crisis. UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon condemned, quote, the rocket attacks by Hamas militants against Israel and also the excessive force by Israel in Gaza. He's engaging world leaders from the East and the West to bring an early end to this impasse.
The frightening nature of what is happening on the ground, in particular its effects on children, who are more than half of the population, troubles me greatly. I have continuously stressed the need for strict observance of international humanitarian law.
While the fighting still continues, the Israeli government promised Ban Ki-moon to allow humanitarian supplies and personnel into Gaza.